Hey guys, Cam for 15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another My Hero Academia manga chapter review for you guys, as this will be the last manga chapter of My Hero Academia. Yes, it's not the end of the series yet, but I guess we were all wrong. I guess Horikoshi was also wrong. Again, I'm not gonna blame Horikoshi. I'm not gonna go out there and say, Horikoshi, you fucking lied to us. I'm not gonna say that. If you remember at the start of last year, or even at the end of 2021, and what I mean by last year, I'm talking about 2022. At the start of 2022, end of 2021, Horikoshi pretty much made an announcement that he plans to end the My Hero Academia story at the end of 2022, pretty much. And it was honestly out there. It was shocking. People were like, oh wait, this thing is gonna be ending next year. This is gonna be ending in 2022 and everything. And it's just like I was shocked. I'm like, okay. I was like, well, that means that we're more than likely going to get a very rushed ending to the series. So far, that does not look like to be the case. Obviously, Horikoshi's health has been up and down, especially as of late. But I think at the end of the day, he wants to put the best ending towards his story. And again, I don't blame him for wanting to end the story, like with the fact that you have everybody in the community from My Hero Academia, which it's a very toxic community. Like, I swear, man, you have people who don't like a decision he makes. They'll literally go on Twitter, freaking at him on Twitter, pretty much sending him death threats, all this hate mail and shit like that. And again, people just got to be better. And people need to understand this is just a story he's writing. This is his vision, everything. And we have to respect that at the end of the day. You can have disagreements, and you don't have to like certain elements and plot points of stories, but going on social media, freaking ragging on the guy, sending these guys death threats and saying like he's not all this and that, it's not good. It's not healthy. And it shows you that, well, guess what? You're taking literally a freaking, you know, fictional story so damn serious. Um, so, that's kind of the thing. And like I said, I said it before and I'll say it again. I've said it on other My Hero Academia videos. I think My Hero Academia, when it comes to their community, it's one of the more toxic ones. It's definitely top five. Top five for no damn reason, because these people treat this story like it's legit real life. But you know, now looking at it after the whole news about Horikoshi saying that he was planning to end the story this year, at the end of this year, and we're already at the end of this year, and this is the last chapter of 2022 for My Hero. You know, it does make sense that it's still going on, because let's be honest, it's not doable to finish a whole story in 1 year. Now, yes, can it be? Potentially, it is. That's like maybe if you don't have certain breaks at certain points and times, and typically there's breaks because things in Japan are happening, like Golden Week and everything. Sometimes that's the case. Even now, because the holidays, next week there will be no chapter. The next chapter will be in 2023. So with all the breaks and everything, and then even times where, guess what, a chapter was originally supposed to come out, because there was times this year there was a chapter that was supposed to come out on its designated week, but then guess what, it got delayed to the next week because Horikoshi's health. I personally think, listen, it might more than likely will end sometime next year, maybe 2024, probably. I don't know how long Horikoshi's trying to push this story. We are in the final arc. It just feels like to me Horikoshi just needs a good like rest break. Like maybe he looks like he could use a year or two off of writing manga. And if he were to somehow do that and maybe say, hey, I'm returning back to writing My Hero Academia, okay, then I'm content with that. I don't know if it'll continue on after that, and we would like, I guess, cover the content of like Deku when they're adults and everything, but you know it would be interesting to say this approach. But honestly, I hope for this man's health and his sake, he just ends the story off the way he wants to end it off. I do hope he doesn't rush it at the end of the day. I do want a nice fleshed out, ending, and a nice ending that, guess what, it's pretty content. But you know, it's not My Hero Academia is not ending like now. It will definitely end in the future. But we'll see. But anyways, getting into this chapter. This chapter is particularly short. We didn't get enough content in this chapter, and this chapter was practically only 11 pages, which it's kind of shocking to say the least. And it's like, wow, yeah, because I remember when I read the unofficial translations a few days ago, I'm like, this was a really short chapter. It's not that I don't like that. Well, I don't, to be honest. I wish the chapter was around 17 pages. But it's like, okay. Okay. Now, again, like I said, it could be due to the fact that maybe it had something to do with Horikoshi's health. The reason why the chapter was short, or maybe, kind of just wanted to leave off on a cliffhanger way going into 2023. Anyways, this is My Hero Academia chapter 376 titled On Knife's Edge. We start the chapter off with Ochako and Sue pretty much flying in to the Gungan Mountain Villa area, and they're seeing like pretty much what's going on. They see Toga just unleashing Sadman's parade and everything, and pretty much Ochako's still on her thing, like we still haven't had our chance to talk about romance. We see obviously the one twice that is clearly Toga is like, you can't take a hint. I'm not some, schoolgirl in love anymore. And she doesn't call Ochako by Ochako anymore. She calls Ochako Hero. So I think Toga is beyond saving now, and I think there's nothing Ochako can do to get Toga to, I guess, wanting to at least realize or become atone for her sins in a way, just go to jail. It looks like she's just going full 100% villain, and she understands the path that she's chosen is the path she's going to pretty much die on a hill on. So yeah, anyways, we get this full page spread of all the twices just going crazy and everything, and pretty much you have to where some of the heroes are getting overwhelmed. On top of it, the flames that Dabi was emitting isn't helping too. So yeah. Now we see on Mushroom Girl, she can't spread any more spores to put any of the twices to sleep because, well, guess what? The flames are in the way and everything. One hero's like, get the villains tied up out of here, otherwise they'll burn up to a crisp and end up dying. So again, Dabi's kind of at this point where he doesn't care who lives, who dies, and pretty much. So yeah. Sue makes a mention to Ochako that it's not just Kurogiri, but Dabi's also here too. And she's wondering if Shoji and Todoroki are also good. We have it where Jiro and Tokoyami end up showing up, and they're like, hey, I don't know, what are you guys doing here? And pretty much Tokoyami goes on to say, the battle is doomed to devolve into chaos. Now, Ochako and Sue, they see Jiro's ear and everything, and they're obviously worried about her, about what happened to her, and pretty much, Jiro's like, yeah, I should be, like, to be honest, I'm actually lucky that I didn't lose more than just an ear to the All for One. But yeah, anyways, Jiro goes on to say, since that twice army came out of the same warp gate as you, I'm guessing that's Toga. And pretty much Ochako's like, all of Japan will be buried unless we stop her. It does also, again, it doesn't help the fact that Dabi's heat is also, hot, and it's, making a crazy, like, inferno, pretty much. So right now, really all they can do is really just retreat and flee, because right now the battlefield is not a sustainable battle area. So yeah. And pretty much the whole thing is they're saying, like, this is no proper battle, not anymore. The strategy to divide and conquer has failed. So the next page, it has Dabi confronting Endeavor pretty much, while Endeavor's fighting off these twices, and pretty much he's shocked by that. Now Endeavor sees that Dabi is using the phosphorus ability that Shoto was doing, and pretty much, Endeavor's like, what did you do to Shoto? And pretty much Dabi's like, I was hoping to bring you his head, but he was a tough cookie. Now my grand dream will never come true, which we know he wanted to take away Endeavor's most prized possession, which is or his prized creation, which is Shoto and everything. And mind you, I honestly thought that the Viz translations made it extremely darker compared to the unofficial translation. Like, in the unofficial translations, he made the mention, like, I wanted to bring Shoto's dead body, but here he's like, I wanted to bring you Shoto's head. I'm like, oh, Viz getting dark for once? Okay, I'll take that. Honestly, I think one of the times that I think I'll approve the Viz translation over an unofficial translation read. But anyways, Dabi pretty much is like, but at the very least, I'll take as much as I can. Whatever you hold dear, whatever you try to protect. So pretty much Dabi's like, yeah, whatever else means so much to you, I will still take that away. But this pretty much looks like it's gonna be setting up Endeavor's battle against Dabi, his son Toya. Pretty much with All For One standing in the background, he's like, this is interesting. The wind now blows my way. Because of all these events and everything, there's a lot of chaos in the battlefield. And pretty much he goes on to say, Kodagiri probably warped himself to Tomura's location. Ultimately, I would have obtained that long-range quirk for myself since it's superior to my own imperfect sludge wave quirk. No matter, since there's all this chaos going on, I can end up going to where Tomura is. So he ends up flying off in literally the most Dragon Ball Z way possible. But then you see it how Hawks blocks him and gets in his way. And pretty much All For One's taunting him. He's like, Hawks, shouldn't you be dealing with Twice and his dying will? And pretty much Hawks goes on and says, we know that the rewind effect puts you on a timer, but you sure seem in an awful hurry, buddy. What, you don't have faith in Shigaraki getting the job done on his end and stuff like that, especially in your perfect body? And this guy kind of ticks off All For One a bit. He's like, oh, okay. And pretty much All For One replies by saying, you're so discerning. In this truest sense, that body is not yet complete. So he's still saying that Shigaraki's body is not complete. Now he goes on to say, there is a reason why this version of me is still essential. Now, this is when Hawk screams out to Endeavor, and he's like, Endeavor, the divide and conquer plan is a bust. Our allies can't battle in this nasty heat, and if we fall here, the villains are gonna converge on Deku and Tomura. Please put a stop to Toya. And pretty much, it's just Hawk's pretty much saying, listen, dude, you need to get over this whole past issue with your son. You need to take him down once and for all. The only way you're gonna get freaking I guess clearance on your life, acceptance, is if you take your son down and it's time to finish up. Now you can't hold back against him. All For One goes on to say in a mocking way, saying, such a cruel command for that one-armed half-conscious fellow. As you so nicely put it, defeating me post haste is the mission here. Yet you tell him to abandon his duty, and pretty much Hawks is like, please, enough of your bullshit. After all, you already lost once to our number one. He ain't abandoning his duty. And pretty much because of this, All For One gets pretty pissed off. He's like, oh, I see. You're splitting hairs, huh? And pretty much the chapter ends off with we see where Dabi is charging in at Endeavor. Endeavor lights up its flames, and he pretty much says, this time around, I'm really seeing you. And that's where the chapter ends off. Break, only a short chapter. So it's definitely, I don't know how, but I've seen some people throw this around. It's definitely setting up like as if Endeavor and Hawks might potentially be sacrificing themselves, because they're practically left out on their fumes. They're barely even able to stand, but they're still fighting. I feel like it could be the case. I don't know about Hawks maybe potentially dying. I could see Hawks maybe making out of this alive, maybe having to retire as a hero with the damage that he would have taken. I don't know. But Endeavor, I honestly could see him probably doing the whole thing as well. If his son is trying to take him, Toya trying to take him down, and kill him, well then Endeavor is more than likely gonna, go down with him and, end up, maybe using layman terms, we're both going to hell together. Which would be honestly a badass line if Endeavor frickin' says that and shit like that back to his son and says we both committed atrocities, but at the end of the day, you think I'm gonna go down with you. I'm taking you down. You think I'm going down to hell. Please, I'm taking you down with me. Which would kind of be a full circle way of when frickin' Toya told, told Endeavor back in the war, which we recently saw in the anime, that, we're gonna dance in hell, aren't we, father? Huh? So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I feel like we're definitely getting set up to a potential Endeavor sacrifice. They've always been hinting at it, but I feel like for this case, it makes sense that not only he sacrifices his life, he takes his life in a way by taking his own son down, and it's a way to, I guess, bring his character full circle and I guess fully atone for the sins he has committed. Which it's gonna be interesting to see the Todoroki family's reaction to that, if that happens, when they find out if it does happen. I'm still intrigued to see why All For One is very insistent on I don't, just trying to get to Tomura and trying to, in a way, I guess you can say, save him or something like that. But it's weird because he makes a mention that his body's not yet perfect, and he still says that his said body he has right now, it has something to do with that body. And I was thinking before I recorded the video, I'm like, I don't know, I'm just throwing this theory out there. What if the reason why he wants Tomura's body to stay there, and he's trying to get there and make sure to keep this body of his, what if he's trying to, and we've always had this whole thing, he's trying to take over Tomura's body for his own, because it has more potential and everything. And I was thinking, I'm like, what if he's trying to fuse his old body with Shigaraki's body, and by doing that he accumulates full control, kicking out the Tenko Shimura part of his out, and I guess thusly killing that personality off, making him in complete control of Shigaraki's body, and boom, there you go. I'm just wondering, is he trying to fuse bodies? Which would be a wild idea. I'm just throwing out there. It's just a theory, but it's gonna be very interesting to see where the story's gonna go. But it looks like Hawks and All For One is gonna be having a fight. Now, I don't see how Hawks is gonna win this fight against All For One. He's pretty much on fumes himself. But anyways, yeah, the only thing is Hawks can do is more than likely stall till the rewind or quirk takes effect on All For One's body to the point it's too little too late for him to do anything. But anyways, that's kind of it. But if you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's manga chapter by My Hero Academia, your thoughts on anything My Hero Academia for the manga this past year. Or if you want a bigger mention on the anime, go right ahead. What's your favorite My Hero Academia moment of 2022? But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go for catch you guys in the next video. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your Christmas day. Again, hopefully you guys got what you wanted for Christmas. Hopefully. I would be I don't know if it was me, but I typically every Christmas I would typically get what I wanted. But as of late, Christmas has kind of been a boring holiday for me, because it's not like when I was a kid, when I would be getting all these gifts and everything. But that's kind of with the territory. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. Catch you guys in the next video. Till then, guys, have a great rest of your day. Peace.